What is good in the hood? What is good in the hood? What is good in the sky? What is good, my guys? What is good, my Zero Squad? It is your boy Supreme Reaper back, and I know it's been a while since I last posted a video. Yeah, I know, family problems. Can I get a RIP in the chat? Because my great grandmother recently just passed, so it's been hard. But happy Halloween, y'all. So, because it's Halloween season, why not drop the second episode of Grim Reaper? What if Naruto was from the Reaper clan? So, we jumped to see Naruto training with Sasuke and the others, but somebody is watching them. Now, before we left off, Blast, the older brother of Naruto, was throwing hands with shinobis. Oh, doing some fucking Hokage Naruto boxing with that fucking one scene in the Boruto, spoilers, in that Boruto, in the fucking Momoshiki arc when Naruto and fucking Momoshiki were boxing, throwing hands with each other, fucking doing that shit. He's only like 13 or 14, so. Blast would teleport back home, battered and beaten, bleeding, because they actually gave him a trouble, because like 7 Jonin, it took 7 Anbu, 7 Jonin, 8 like shinobis just to take my nigga out. It took 7 Anbu, 7 Jonin, like bruh. Not Blast is not who he seems he is, alright, but I'm gonna keep that secret for now. I don't want to spoil the fun. As we see Naruto training, as in this one, he has black hairs. He's not the son. In this, Minato his mother was a Namikaze, but his father was from the Reaper clan. But he was from a lesser version. He was from a lesser branch, so he's not from the main family. So he had, at the tip of his hair was yellow and the rest was all black. Now we see Naruto fighting with Sasuke, boxing with him. Naruto in this being way physically stronger than he is in the original due to the fact that he was trained by Blast and was put through hell and back to train. So this boy has a 6-pack at the age of like 12 or 10. He's 12 and he has a 7-pack. He has a fucking 7-pack, bro. And he's 12. He has like 6 different scars on his body. That just shows how much training he's been put through. He grabs Sasuke's arms and breaks one of his arms, body slamming him, pulling out a fucking wind-style hurricane spear, launching a wind-style spear at him. Before Blast would fucking Goku teleport in front of the thing and smack it away with his hand. Telling Naruto, what did I say about trying to kill your training partners, Naruto? You put like 6 kids in the hospital last time. We're not rich, bro. Nissan. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention. No, it's fine. Sasuke, calm down. I get he just broke your arm. Believe me, this happened a lot to Naruto when he's younger. He broke his arm a lot. Let me see. Hinata, can you, like, Byakugan his arm, please? Hinata would use her Byakugan on Sasuke, seeing where his arm was fractured and stuff. Blast apparently knew healing jutsu. Blast would say to Goat Naruto, "There is a lot about me, younger brother, that you do not know, and I think it's better you shouldn't know. After I heal Sasuke, and he rests for a little while, you will have a sparring match against me. Every one of you. Blast would somehow heal Sasuke's arm. Like, even though it was broken, the bones were shattered. Blast healed it as if he reversed time on it. But everyone, like, it's incredible to be able to heal such a wound. Blast would say, with a smart ass tone, "Boy, like I said, there's lots of things about me that you don't know, and you should probably never know." Now, Blast would sit there standing, looking at Naruto face to face. He would say, "Ready!" Everyone would run at him. Hinata would go for gentle fist. Blast would go and grab her arms, throwing her in the air. Sasuke coming in with a fireball jutsu. Blast countering his fireball jutsu with an even greater fireball, a fire leviathan, before blocking a freaking fucking bulldozer attack from Choji, punching him against a tree. Shikamaru coming to stop him in place using his shadows. Blast substituting out of the way, launching a kunai at Shikamaru, exploding it in his face. Naruto would charge at him, pulling out a katana that Blast gave him, swinging it like a madman, as though his sword skills were not very refined, like Blast were. Where Blast had high Jonin level sword tech skills. Blast would grab his sword, Naruto's sword, and punch him while holding it multiple times, throwing him on the ground. Naruto would get up spinning on his back, jumping up in the air, launching 5 explosive kunais. Blast, recognizing the strategy, would say, "Oh, I know what you're doing, little boy. Don't even try." Making 7 shadow clones, throwing them all in the air to counteract the kunai. Blast have refined and perfected Naruto's strategy, knowing its every point and every weakness. He would close one of his eyes, revealing an all black void of darkness in them, with a red pupil appearing glowing. Naruto Blast would say, Let me show you what I am capable of. You are all strong, but with my training, you can become some of the strongest. Sasuke and you, Naruto, can become some of the strongest shinobis in the world. If not the strongest. As he would put up his right hand where his eye had become all black with a red pupil, as a blood red aura would accumulate off of it, soon turning black, then white, then red, flashing between the colors. Blast would put his hands together in a Naruto fashion, screaming with all his might. In one foul swoop, he would summon the axe of God, the wrath of Olympus, a thunderbolt so powerful it could destroy a country, slamming it down on the children, like calling it wrath, forbidden style, wrath of Zeus. with a loud boom, boom. Naruto would wake up coughing, looking around, everyone on the ground. Blast standing there, panting heavily. His eye turned normal. Blast would clap slowly, saying, "I'm surprised you survived that attack. Honestly, I didn't even know I was capable of such a thing. I guess it just came out of me. Don't worry, everyone, I'm gonna heal you. You're not gonna die." Blast would proceed to heal everyone there. Naruto didn't have to due to the fact that he was a Jinchuriki, so he had enhanced healing, but Blast still healed him as he's his older brother and basically his father figure in a sort. Because Blast looks a lot young. See, because Blast has this thing, the Reaper family has this thing about them where they look younger than they are. So a Reaper family member could be like 80 something and they could still look 30 or 20. And Reaper clan members can live a considerable long time. Like, they can live long past the hundreds. And they can still look like they're 20 or 30. After healing everyone, Blast would explain that due to the fact that Blast is practically joning, low joning level, saying this as a lie, they are all, even though Blast is older than all of them and most people in the school, he is still an academy student. The getting exams are coming up soon. So, he's going to train every last one of them to be ready. Due to the fact that Blast is a stealth god, basically. He sneaks in, steals the things for the test, so he can prepare ahead of time. He can prepare a month or 3 ahead of time. Always thinking out 500 steps ahead. Hundreds of steps ahead of anybody. Always thinking, always preparing. Blast would grin and say, "My younger brother has grown exponentially. But how strong will he become when he masters that demon inside of him?" Shikamaru, having overheard this, Blast would say, "Okay, I know you're there. No point in hiding. Your chakra control isn't good enough to hide completely from someone like me, Shikamaru Nara. Don't worry, I'm not going to hurt you. Anyone who's a brother of my brother, who's a friend of my brother, is my family. So you do not have to be scared around me." Shikamaru sighing, saying, "What a drag. How'd you manage to find me?" "Well, my chakra control is a lot better than it seems. Now, as I've heard Naruto a lot, you seem to be one of his closest friends. And I thank you for being the friend of my brother. Growing up, it was rough for us. Because of the fact that Naruto and I were treated terribly just because of something they don't even know, calling us demons and stuff. I owe you one, Shikamaru Nara. And I know you overheard me saying demon about Naruto. This is a secret that you and me must keep secret, understood? Something that only the Kage himself would know. Naruto is the Jinchuriki of the 9... Blast would say, "Hold on, Shikamaru. Let me scout the air. Send my clones to scout. Let me use my shadow magic." "Ah, not shadow magic. Magic doesn't exist. Ah!" Blast would use a technique similar to the Nara style to cover the area in his shadow so that anything that stepped in 100-meter radius of him, he could know instantaneously. He would explain to Shikamaru that Naruto was secretly the vessel of the 9-tailed beast, Blast himself being a jinchuriki of a tailed beast. As well, the same tailed beast that killed the Hokage and attacked the village years ago. So Shikamaru would promise on his life by making a contract with Blast that he'll never tell this secret to anybody until Naruto is of the time. Pulling back his somewhat domain expansion like jutsu, Blast would throw Shikamaru a scroll saying, use those scrolls to improve your shadow possession. No, they're not from your clan house. I custom made them. After seeing your clan's technique and studying it, I've learned of ways to refine and perfect it beyond perfection. If you ever need help with those techniques, Shikamaru Nara, you know where to find me. Before Blast would flicker off, going home to find everybody sleeping. Although Hinata and everybody else has gone home. Well, sort of. Choji, Naruto, and Sasuke would still be there. Blast picking up Choji, putting him on the couch, covering him up. Blast teleporting on the building, having nowhere to sleep, because his apartment was a mess, even though he had clones clean it. He would sit on the building, looking down on the village, before hearing a feminine voice saying, "Hello, Blast." Blast would respond with, "Hello, girl. Why have you followed me back to my house? That's stalking." Blast turning around to see the very girl that tried to kill him, his very classmate. I'm gonna change her name up right now and call her Rose. Yeah, Rose. So, Rose, what is it you want? I want to spar with you, she would say. The other day, I kind of saw something, on the outskirts of the village. I saw somewhat of a god figure appear above an area of the forest, like in the form of a muscular man holding a thunderbolt. I went to inspect what it was, but when I got there, nobody was there. Boss would say, "Oh, I don't know anything about that, sorry. But if you want to spar with me, sure. I'll be glad to spar with you." Come to my sparring area. It might be a little bit destroyed considering I've been training a couple of my brother's friends, and him included. You're prepping for the getting exams? I'm already prepped. I just need to get them prepared. After they would spar, we would see Blast with a torn shirt, sweating heavily, saying, "My, I greatly underestimated you, Rose." Rose responding, "Yeah, you too. I didn't know you were capable of flickers or shadow possession. Heck, I didn't even know you had lightning style. There's a lot of things people don't know about me. Or Naruto, really." Before putting on a new shirt, because Violet absolutely burned his to death. Blast throwing her a chug of water, because damn, this lady can drink a lot of water. She drinks almost as much as Blast. Blast goes through 3 chugs a day. She goes through 10. Blast heard that his jaw, quite literally in the cartoon fashion of Bugs Bunny, dropped. Tongue rolling out and everything. Blast would see a weird mark on her neck, pointing it out. She would cover and say, "It's a tattoo. Yeah, tattoo." Blast says, "You can't lie to me," sitting in like a applesauce type of way. Honest friend. I sense an ominous aura from that. That's not a tattoo. Because when we were sparring, I saw it expand across your body, and you quickly retract it. If it hadn't done that, you would have easily have blocked my fireball. So then, Rose, tell me, what is that mark on your neck? Rose, reluctant to say, would clutch her arms, looking away, before sighing and saying, "It's from my past, when I worked with a very, very dangerous man. His name is Orochimaru, one of the three legendary Sannin." Blast would say, "I know of Orochimaru, but this mark, that's what I'm curious of." As Rose would explain that Orochimaru had been experimenting with children, conducting a mark of sorts, calling it the curse mark. The curse, but that's all she knows. That when she got abducted when she was very young by Orochimaru, before finally being saved. As she would quote unquote say, she was forced. She was one of his test subjects. Blast would say, "How do I... Okay, I'll keep that in mind. Well, then I have to get home. Naruto and the others should be waking up by now, so I have to go and make them breakfast. You're welcome to drop by anytime." And by the time they got done sparring, it was like 5 a.m. in the morning, so Blast would flicker off. Rose sitting there, she would hear a familiar voice saying, well done, Rose. That's all the time I needed to get the data on the boy." As Rose would turn around to see Orochimaru before saying, what are you planning to do with Glass?" "You know, a couple of tests, experiments, the norm, as you children say it nowadays. Continue your business. I want you to come and temp with me after the Genin exam." She would reluctantly say, "Okay, fine. Good. Little." Yeah, ignore that. A little sneak peek to something I'll be doing on Gotcha. Don't worry, I still do Gotcha videos. Do not tread, my friends. Blast walking in to see Naruto, Shikamaru, Choji, and Sasuke awake. Naruto, thinking he's an intruder, would jump at Blast. Sasuke jumping in the way, pinning Naruto down, saying, it's master, remember? Or it's Nissan. Blast would say, "He finally called me big brother! Jesus Christ! I've been trying to get that damn word out of him for days." Blast would say, "It's time for school, y'all. Don't worry, I got clothes for all of you." Sasuke, "Since you live alone, well, you're living with me now." "What?" "I talked with the village elders, I talked with the Lord Hokage, and I made a deal that you would live with me from now on." since your whole clan bit the dust, as I should say. So you'll be living with us. They would arrive at school, everyone looking at Naruto and Sasuke and Shikamaru, Choji, and the others going, they look different. What the hell happened to them? Before Blast being one of the oldest kids in the class, sitting down in the top, being considered the most elite of his year, being the top student in his class, the rookie of the year, for 3 years in a row. Before sitting in the top row, laying down, and sleeping. But the fact that he has some very good hearing, he heard everything. And he would wake up right before the getting exams began, as he would hear his name be called, and he would step up, walk past Naruto, secretly give him the thumbs up, and secretly raise his hand to Naruto without anyone seeing and putting up the number 3, indicating to Naruto that's how many he was limited to summon. Blast would walk up, turn around, bend a knee, stand up as he would look at it, trying to remember the old man's name. Iruka, before doing doing it. Kage Shinojutsu! Kagepo Shinjutsu! Summoning 3 clones of himself. Perfect clones. Then doing the transformation jutsu on top of that. Iruka saying, you passed the first test. Blast dabbing in excitement. Let's go! Before going back to his seat, winking at Naruto. Naruto, yada yada, it would go as canon, but Naruto would pass this time, and it would go like Naruto discovering he has wind in nature and water, everything. Basically canon. Then finding out Blast has water, lightning, fire, and wind, and earth beliefs. Him being considered a prodigy beyond prodigies. Getting handed their headbands. Now, the Mizuki situation wouldn't happen in this one, as Blast already stopped him, broke all his bones, and put him in a coma for a really, really, really long time. Now, I might amp up the gore in this series since it's Halloween season and tomorrow is Halloween, so why not? As then Blast would be assigned to a team with his brother. This time there would be like, Blast got to pick how many people he wanted. They would still get Kakashi, but Blast would be considered the team leader in place of Kakashi anytime something happened. Like Kakashi had to get sent on separate missions and they didn't have a team leader, Blast would step in, being low Kakashi level. Blast adopting some drip. As they would do the bell task, Blast would plan, sit in the back and plan. As he would say, he would rather see how, in this team, it's not the regular Team 7, it's Naruto, Sasuke, Blast, and Shikamaru. And Hinata. So, there's a 6-man team. Everything else, every other team is canon. Except for the team Ino Shikacho. In her place of Ino, it would be Rose. Ding, 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 dong. Blast would sit in a tree watching as his technically little siblings and his actual little sibling fought Kakashi, waiting for the moment to step in before summoning a clone, sending it at Kakashi. Kakashi would get caught off guard while Naruto cracks the man with a left hook, then a right hook, then a knee to the jaw, before finally finishing the combo with a lightning-style Leviathan axe, making an axe out of lightning and slamming it into Kakashi, seamlessly cutting him in half before he would turn into a log. Kakashi would say, "That's one deadly jutsu." Blast would say, "We're not done yet. Naruto, Sasuke! Wind style! Wind of Ash! Arrow of Silk! Arrow of Soul! Yeah, Arrow of Soul, sure. Sasuke launching Fire Style! Black Hell! Hellhound! Cerberus! Before launching a three-headed dragon at the beast. And before Blast finishing it off with a lightning style Thunderbolt Zeus's Wrath. Launching a Thunderbolt, combining all of these. Hitting Kakashi, doing enormous damage before Blast would jump in, ripping the bells off. Blast would say, revealing to his team, "I already know the trick. You never leave a teammate behind, so give your food to the ones on the... Do not eat yourselves. In fact, starve yourselves, and give food to your companions." Kakashi would pop up going balls deep. It's being surprised on how Blast managed to figure out the real reason of the test. Blast telling Kakashi he did some studying on him before we got him as a teacher, saying he knew the reason why he failed every last one of his students. Teamwork and friendship. Blast would take everyone out to eat as a success of becoming official Genin. Okay, so Blast would take everyone out to eat. Then Blast would talk to Kakashi and ask about going on a mission by themselves without him, but him being in the background just in case something goes wrong. Let Blast take control. Kakashi would say, "You know what? You seem reliable, kid. I trust you." And Kakashi would say, "You know what? Sure. I'll request this an A rank mission, a C rank for us." Escorting him to the land of water. "I got you!" Let's start formation. Sasuke, you're in the back. Shikamaru, you're on the side. Naruto, you're on the left. Hinata, you're in the front. Old Gramp, GG, you're in the middle. I'll be in front of us, watching. Hinata, have your Byakugan on at all times. Scout the areas out every time. Every 100 to 200 meters, turn your Byakugan, scout the area. Understood? Uh-huh. Naruto, you got us covered with those shadow cones. Sasuke, you'll back us up with fire the balls. As the demon brothers, Hinata would spot the demon brothers. Everyone would say, "Sasuke, fireball at that puddle. Let's go." Sasuke would launch a fireball at the puddle, burning the brothers out. Blast, Naruto quickly coming in with those Air Force 9s, blocking one nigga in his stomach, beating the other with his chin. Break, bop, smeet, bop. summoning a clone, body slamming him on them. Sasuke coming in with that kick. Hinata with that palm, smack. Blast coming in with that Wrath of Hades shit, nigga. Summoning a literal thunderbolt out of fire. Making a sword a katana out of pure flames using a metal pole. Slash, sling, slaying, cutting down the brothers before clashing them to the tree using metal earth release. Dispersing the sword. See, team, we work together, we can do get down! Before finishing his sentence, he would get down. So everybody using his wind release, he would push everybody back before jumping in the air, narrowly missing. The executioner's blade narrowly missing him, nearly from cutting his head off. Kakashi in his earpiece would say, "Okay, so should I get involved? I think you should, sir." Kakashi teleport on top of the executioner's blade, saying, "Wow, this is unexpected." Kakashi-sensei? Yeah, I was watching y'all to see how well you would do. This just turned into an A-rank mission. Yes, sir. Come on. Zabuza, come out. There's no point in hiding. Before launching a lightning-infused kunai out of a tree, destroying it, revealing Zabuza. Sasuke Blast would order everyone to protect the old man. Shikamaru, use the damn techniques that you learned. Shikamaru abusing the fact, remembering the jutsu that he learned from the scrolls that Blast gave him, controlling his shadows, making a dome around everyone. Blast would pull out an actual katana that looked like Enma from One Piece, for covering it in lightning release and fire style. Charging at Zabuza. Zabuza pulling out his executioner's blade, them clashing. Kakashi too. Blast would throw his katana at them before Naruto himself would pop out of the sword, kicking Zabuza, making him lose his grip on the water bowl. Kakashi using his Sharingan to beat and clap and smack around Zabuza. Blast doing the same thing, pulling a Jujutsu Kaisen on this nigga. For Haku. Nobody said that. Who's Haku? Never heard of him. Blast would say, Haku, you know how it would go, right here. Blast would be like, finally, we finished the God damn it, look at the mist. Doesn't that seem sus? Naruto would say, I already sensed it. Blast would say, alright team, you know the formation, boys. Let's hit it. Shikamaru would put up a perimeter of shadows. Naruto would put up about 50 to 20. But Naruto's max amount of clones was about 290,000. This is him as a 12-year motherfucking. Imagine him when he's Hokage Naruto, bro. No Baryon mode needed. Blast pulling out his katana, using a great wind style, great catastrophe slash, slashing the mist, showing Zabuza location, excuse me, for covering it in lightning style, yelling out, lightning style, Chrono Spear, whipping lightning at Zabuza, making him dodge out of the way. Kakashi going head to head with Zabuza. Blast. Naruto would go berserk at seeing Sasuke's condition. Blast would go berserk as well. But this time, Blast is in control. During the little while he has been training, he learned to control the little chakra of the tailed beast that he could pull out without going berserk. He would get a little aura, but not the full one-tailed stage. He would jump, strangling Naruto, but holding him back using his own strength. Before having Hinata hit him with 64 pounds, knocking him out, blocking the tailed beast. Blast would still beat the shit out of Haku, but not to the point where he would die. Blast turning to Zabuza, helping his sensei, throwing a little lightning bolt at Zabuza, striking him down with the wrath of Olympus. Zabuza falls. He's not dead yet. Gato, I forgot his name because nobody likes Gato, pulls up with his army. Zabuza slaughtered. As Zabuza laid there dead, he would spit on his body, kicking it. Useless fool. Useless, useless, useless. Blast would snap at this, his eyes turning blacker than the abyss of void, blacker than the death, the emptiness of hell. With the rage of a million suns in his eyes. Glowing red. A bone would shoot out of his back, forming that of wings, his skin burning off into that of a skeleton. With the tail beast's chakra enraged at his death, screaming, "How dare you!" Charging at Ghetto, slicing, killing everyone there, destroying them, ripping their soul from their very bodies, summoning the embodiment of death, summoning the Shinigami Scythe. Passing out on the ground, with a puddle and ocean of blood surrounding him. Everyone would go back to normal. Everything would go canon from that point on, but this Blast would take the executioner's blade as a way to honor Zabuza. He would tell Haku to start against a coup d'etat against the Kazekage of the village. Before teleporting away with his squad, before leaving. Blast would have been knocked out for almost a week. When Blast would finally have awoken, his body would be bandaged. He would look next to him to see Rose and Naruto. Rose sleeping and Naruto on the bed next to him along with Sasuke. Blast would wake up, Rose would wake up crying, saying, "He's awake! He's awake!" Everyone would rush into the room, happy and joyed that Blast was awake. Blast, not knowing what had happened. Not caring about himself, but caring more about Sasuke and Naruto, really. Blast would rush out of bed even though his body was in pain. He would heal Naruto, but he could not heal what Sasuke endured. Exciting. Sasuke cannot participate in the coming up Chunin exams. It looks like it'll just we already have enough teammates, so since Sasuke is not competing, we will wait. There is one person though who I think might be able to save him. The legendary Konoichi Sanin. Before he could finish his sentence, a man would yell, bang down the door, screaming, "Tsunade!" Everyone would turn, the room would go silent, looking back to see an old man being Jiraiya next to the Hokage. They would explain the situation. Blast and Naruto would agree. But that is where I'm going to be leaving this video off. I don't know how long it's going to be. So I hope you enjoyed. Comment, like, subscribe. The norm. Goodbye, my Zero Squad.